I also want to tell you guys what's going on like in my body because it's been pretty intense. Obviously, I have not eaten food in 5 days. I've just been drinking water and coconut water and electrolytes. So the first thing that's very surprising and strange is I have been sweating more than I have literally sweat in my entire life. I don't know the science behind any of this, but like I wake up in pools of sweat. The next one is really gross, okay? TMI. I'm consuming like so much water and no food that water is coming out number 1 and number 2.
Democrats are going on hunger strikes. And this one here landed herself in the hospital.
My name is Maya. I am a third-year UCLA student, and today marks the first day of my indefinite hunger strike in protest of my university's direct involvement of my people. Today marks the 68th day of no food or aid going into the people have reported that they are starving. My university uses our tuition money to invest in its companies going on hunger strike to urge my university to divest from these companies, to stop the constant beratement of UCLA students who protest legally on campus and to urge my university to protect the undocumented students who are here learning from deportation.
It just became day 3 of my hunger strike. I am a UCLA student currently on hunger strike in support of divestment from Israel. And I want to answer some frequently asked questions / comments about going on hunger strike. The number 1 asked question is, what are you going to do if UCLA doesn't respond? And the goal of a hunger strike is to strike until they have no choice to respond, which usually means like hospitalization or getting to a point where it's like making a big buzz in the news. So I plan on striking until they respond to me or until like I'm intubated until I can't strike anymore.
Hi, my name is Maya, and I'm on day 6 of my hunger strike. Although there has been no response from UCLA about my hunger strike, I have been made aware that they know about the strike and they are monitoring it. UCLA claims to care deeply about the health and safety of its students, yet has failed to directly speak to me about my hunger strike. Many people do not know just how involved UCLA and other universities across the country are in the Universities and institutions of learning are run like for-profit businesses. They hold billions of dollars in investments and private equity funds. This means the people who run this university directly profit from the of children. I'm going to read from Unmasking UCLA, which is a white paper made by diligent activists at our school who have been researching and talking about divestment far before I've been here. It is estimated that UC Investments indirectly hold $12.3 billion worth of publicly traded companies with documented ties to of the 12.3 billion, 1.6 billion is in weapons manufacturers, 8.7 billion is in information technology companies that have government contracts, and 268 million is in the surveillance and cyber warfare industry. These numbers are more than likely an underestimation of just how much money they are investing into. I am asking UCLA to hold a public meeting with me to reopen the negotiations to stop investing in companies supporting the. I'm also asking for UCLA to protect both the documented and undocumented students who are suffering unlawfully for exercising their legal right to protest against the. I'd also like to say a big thank you to everyone who has tagged the university, spammed them in their comments, and tagged news sites. Because of you, UCLA knows about the hunger strikes, and we're starting to get traction in the news. Thank you so much for all you do, and we, the students, will never give up on the people of.
We live in a country where people will delete each other over sneakers, tennis shoes. And this girl is shocked and surprised to find out that her university cares more about billions of dollars in investments than they do about her personally, even though I know she must be the center of the universe, right?
Today is day 7 of my hunger strike at UCLA.
Maya collapsed and was hospitalized yesterday. And the sad thing is, UCLA is not going to do a thing. They're still going to pretend that they don't hear her at all. I know they're aware of what's going on, but they're still going to pretend that they don't hear her at all. And I'm actually proud of her because she had a cause that she was willing to put her health and body on the line for, to have her voice be heard. And they do hear her. They're just choosing to ignore her and choosing to ignore thousands of other students who want them to divest.
This is what happens when UCLA ignores their students. She's going to the hospital. She just passed out. UCLA, please hear her. She's literally being hospitalized because of you. This is on you, UCLA.
Before I say anything in this video, I want to say thank you to everybody who's checked up on me. It's been a very wild couple of days, and I just wanted to update you guys on what happened. So on day 9 of my hunger strike as a UCLA student, I very unexpectedly passed out at my school and had to be rushed to the hospital in an ambulance. Before I passed out, I was walking in a protest and I felt lightheaded, but I hadn't felt like I was going to pass out. And then when I got to school, we walked for like 10 minutes before I hit the ground. I was very lucky to be with friends who called the ambulance immediately. I had a feeling that I was going to be hospitalized from before, and I told my friends not to call the ambulance if I did faint because I don't have the funds to pay the ambulance bill. But when I was unconscious, I just had to go in the ambulance. And when they came and found me, I was choking on my vomit a little bit, and then they put me on my side, and I didn't have anything in my stomach, so it was just like bile. But then they took me to the hospital. In the ambulance, they gave me an EKG, and they found out that my resting heart rate was 40% normal than the average person's resting heart rate, which is really scary. It was like I was running a lot and I was just laying down. So that was scary, and they were really scared that I had done like some type of damage to my heart. So I wasn't hospitalized just because I wasn't eating. That was definitely a factor, but there were multiple factors involved in why I had to go to the hospital and why I fainted. The first factor was obviously I didn't eat for 9 days. And then the second factor was on day 5, I told you guys that I started my period, and I have extremely heavy periods. So the combination of not eating and losing like a large amount of blood was just very hard for my body. And then walking in the protest and it being kind of hot, my body just like couldn't handle the combination of all things, which made me pass out. I didn't have my phone when I was in the hospital, so I'm just like replying to people now. Thank you so much to everybody who reached out, and I just want to say a huge thank you to my comrades and friends that showed up to the hospital immediately. My friends at the Chapman SJP and my friends at the Long Beach SJP, you guys are amazing. And also a big thank you to Guy on here. I'm going to tag him below for posting and updating everybody about my hospitalization. And to answer the big question, did UCLA respond to my hospitalization? No. When I was in the ambulance, the ambulance driver called UCLA and gave them a courtesy call to tell them that one of their students was rushed to the hospital, and UCLA administration literally never said anything. Even while I sat in the hospital, even while, I got my 3 EKGs, and even today on Monday, they never responded. And yeah, I had a feeling that UCLA would never respond just because of the nature of the administration, but feeling like being a student at the school and literally going to the hospital and just asking for a conversation with the administration and not getting one is disheartening. I do not in any way feel like the hunger strike was a failure, because I think like it got media attention, and I think it did make UCLA uncomfortable, which was putting the pressure on them, which was my goal. And I think this is just a step towards divestment. I don't think it's one big thing that's going to make UCLA divest. I think it's a bunch of little things.
Please don't conflate my dislike of entitled, spoiled college students with the plight of people overseas. I'm a very anti-war individual. I don't want to see suffering on either side. I don't want to see hostages. I don't want to see people going without food or people having their homes go kaboom. I would absolutely love to see an end to the conflict that has been going on for decades. And my heart goes out to all people who are affected. Because at the end of the day, we're all humans. And we should be able to peacefully coexist. Democrats don't want Leroy to celebrate, but you can combat that by using my Buy Me a Coffee link to buy him a dog treat. Just listen to the little guy crunching back there. He loves his treats. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Red Dawn Daily with your host, me, Dawn Marie, and sometimes Leroy. Oh, Leroy, you look like you're ready for a siesta. You look so cute in your sombrero. You really do.